Let me ask you something. Why is it that two people can earn the exact same income, yet one struggles paycheck to paycheck while the other builds wealth steadily year after year? It's not just about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you keep. And in 2026, when the world is moving faster than ever, the people who win financially are those who adopt one simple investment secret habit that millionaires have been using for decades. Millionaires don't rely on luck. They don't wait for the perfect investment opportunity to magically appear. Instead, they create systems that make saving automatic. Imagine if every time you got paid, a portion of your money quietly slipped away into savings and investments without you lifting a finger. That's what they do. It's like setting up invisible guardrails for your money, making it harder to overspend and easier to build wealth. The habit is simple. They automate their financial lives. Direct deposits flow into savings accounts, investment portfolios, and retirement funds before the temptation to spend even has a chance to kick in. Think about it. If money never sits in your checking account, you can't spend what you don't see. By turning saving into a default action, they don't rely on willpower. They rely on structure. That's the difference between those who hope to save and those who actually do. Investment. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Millionaires are constantly scanning their own lives for financial leaks, the subscriptions that quietly drain money each month. Investment. The daily habits that pile up into thousands over a year. They patch those leaks and reallocate the money into assets that grow: stocks, real estate, index funds, or businesses. In other words, they don't just save for the sake of saving. They save to fuel growth. Every dollar has a mission. And maybe the most important shift, millionaires don't see saving as a sacrifice. They see it as opportunity. Investment. Every dollar saved becomes an employee. That works for them. Imagine hiring an employee for free who shows up 24/7, never takes a day off, and keeps generating more money year after year. That's what saved and invested dollars do. Over time, those employees multiply, compounding into freedom, security, and choices that most people only dream about. So as we step into 2026, ask yourself, everything makes a good investment. Are you treating your money like a tool, or are you letting it slip through your fingers? If you want to think and grow like a millionaire, don't just earn more. Build the habit that guarantees you'll keep more. Automate, eliminate leaks, and let your money work for you. That's the secret. That's the habit. And if you start it today, your future self will thank you in ways you can't even imagine. Millionaires don't just make more money. They master the art of intentional saving. That's the real difference. It's easy to assume that wealth comes from higher income, bigger opportunities, or lucky breaks, but the truth is far more practical. A lot of people who make six figures or more often end up broke. It takes a good investment, living paycheck to paycheck, because they spend in proportion to what they earn. Millionaires, however, do the opposite. They deliberately live below their means, not because they have to, but because they understand the power of keeping money working for them rather than against them. Intentional saving means every financial decision is done with purpose. Instead of randomly cutting expenses or blindly following generic advice, millionaires carefully align their spending with their long-term goals. For example, when they choose to buy something, like an investment, they ask themselves a simple question: does this purchase help me get closer to freedom, or does it pull me further away? This mindset reframes money. It turns every dollar into a potential tool for independence. Instead of saving what's left at the end of the month, they prioritize saving first, then spend the rest guilt-free. This habit is less about sacrifice and more about clarity. Investment millionaires know exactly where their money is going. They don't waste time tracking every cent obsessively, but they are conscious of patterns. They identify what expenses bring genuine value and what simply drains resources. By cutting the waste and focusing on what matters, they free up more money to save and invest without feeling restricted. It's not about living cheaply, it's about living smart. Another part of intentional saving is consistency. Millionaires don't wait for extra money to start saving. Investment. They build the habit into their lifestyle from the very beginning, even when amounts are small. That's why so many people with modest incomes who save diligently often surpass high earners who never build the discipline. Over time, intentional saving compounds into massive results. Just like investing, the earlier you start, the more powerful the growth becomes. The key insight is this: wealth is less about how much you earn and more about how much you keep and put to work. Millionaires understand this at a deep level. Investment. They may enjoy luxuries, but they always save first. That's why their net worth continues to climb while others stagnate. If you adopt this mindset in 2026, you don't need to earn millions to act like a millionaire. You just need to practice intentional saving. It's a choice, a system, and most importantly, a habit that builds financial freedom piece by piece. ChatGPT said, investment. The secret habit that sets millionaires apart is their use of automatic money systems. While most people rely on discipline and willpower to save, millionaires remove human error by building systems that save for them without thinking twice. This is powerful because willpower is unreliable. You might intend to save at the end of the month, investment, but unexpected expenses or impulse purchases always seem to show up. Millionaires know this, so instead of fighting their impulses, they design their finances in a way that makes saving effortless. Think about how payroll works. Your taxes, retirement contributions, and health insurance premiums are automatically deducted before your paycheck even reaches you. Investment. You never miss that money because you never really see it. Millionaires apply the same principle to their entire financial life. They set up automatic transfers that move money from their checking account into savings, investment accounts, and retirement funds as soon as their income arrives. By the time they're ready to spend, the important allocations are already taken care of. Myth. This system turns saving from an occasional decision into a permanent lifestyle. Imagine if every month, without fail, hundreds or even thousands of dollars were quietly working for your future. Everything makes a good investment. You wouldn't need to constantly remind yourself to save. You wouldn't feel guilty about spending because the crucial part of your financial growth would already be happening in the background. That's exactly how millionaires keep their money growing year after year. But automation isn't just about savings, it's also about removing friction. Millionaires often set up bill payments, recurring investment, and even automatic increases in contributions over time. For example, if they get a raise, they may automatically allocate half of it toward investments before they even feel the difference in lifestyle investment. This ensures that their wealth grows faster than their expenses. While others spend more when they earn more, millionaires make sure their systems capture that extra money for the future. The brilliance of automation is that it levels the playing field. You don't need to be a financial genius or even highly disciplined to use this habit. Once the system is in place, it does the work for you. Millionaires simply commit to the setup and let time and compounding handle the rest. That's why their wealth seems to grow effortlessly. It's not magic, it's structure. If you want to think like a millionaire in 2026, stop relying on memory and self-control to save. Instead, build a system that guarantees you will save. Treat saving as a bill you must pay to your future self. Once it's automated, the path to financial freedom becomes inevitable because the habit is no longer optional. It's built into your life. Millionaires know that saving money isn't just about cutting expenses. It's about spotting the hidden leaks that quietly drain wealth over time. Most people don't realize how much money slips away unnoticed each month. It's the unused subscriptions, the frequent food deliveries, the small splurges that seem harmless in the moment but compound into thousands over the course of a year. Millionaires take these leaks seriously. Investment. They understand that every unnecessary expense is not just money lost today, it's potential wealth that could have grown tomorrow. By identifying and redirecting these leaks into productive assets, investment, they turn wasted dollars into powerful tools for growth. The first step is awareness. Millionaires are intentional about tracking patterns, not in a restrictive or obsessive way, but enough to see where money tends to disappear. They ask, what am I paying for that doesn't truly improve my life? This level of financial self-awareness is rare. Most people avoid looking too closely because it forces uncomfortable truths, but millionaires embrace it because they know the opportunity is hidden in the details. By canceling a subscription, negotiating a bill, or eliminating a habit that no longer serves them, they create room for money to flow into places that build wealth. The second step is redirection. Millionaires don't just save for the sake of saving. They make every dollar work. Instead of letting small savings sit idle, they channel that money into assets that grow. That might be index funds, dividend stocks, investment real estate, or even reinvesting in their own businesses. They recognize that the purpose of cutting unnecessary expenses is not to deprive themselves, but to relocate money into areas that generate long-term financial freedom. The power of this is incredible. Imagine taking $200 a month you used to waste and putting it into an investment account. Over years, everything makes a good investment. That grows into tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands. That's how millionaires think. The final piece is discipline and lifestyle choices. Millionaires understand that wealth doesn't come from flashy purchases. It comes from consistent growth. They don't fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation where higher income automatically equals higher spending. Instead, they lock in their wealth by keeping expenses in check. Investment, regardless of how much they earn. By protecting themselves from leaks, they avoid the cycle that keeps so many people broke, even with high salaries. In 2026, opportunities to grow wealth are everywhere. But so are distractions. Millionaires stay ahead because they know where their money is going and they refuse to let it slip away unnoticed. By finding the leaks, plugging them, and redirecting the flow into assets, they transform wasted money into freedom. That's the habit most people ignore. And that's why most people never break out of financial struggle.